Ho-Oh gonna unleash the Brave Bird. The opponent really can pick their poison. Brave Bird forces the opponent's final Protect Shield, and Talonflame looks to remove Ho-Oh from the field of play. Giratina gonna re-enter the arena with that ancient power locked and loaded, and it's time to hit him with that bang. There it is. As always, shout out to the OG Oxford U for that quote. Without a doubt, one of my biggest inspirations personally. So welcome back to the channel. The Team Rocket takeover has been and gone, and I hope everyone had some fantastic luck trying to grind some decent PvP IVs from the recent takeover. I'm sure you've seen Giratina featured on every channel except mine, and today we are changing that as we take a look at it not in the Great League but in the Ultra League instead. Today's battles have been submitted to the channel by the one and only Buthesfunnytho. This battler is an absolute legend on my Discord server, the Shadow Hub. He is always pulling off some crazy shenanigans and always has you on the edge of your seat. Buthesfunnytho has not only submitted the battles today, he's also put the graphics together, so a huge thank you for that. And with all that being said, without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game one, we're going to be leading the legendary Firebird of Death, not Talonflame, but Shadow Ho-Oh into Goodra. By no means a good matchup. The Dragon Breath's going to tear through our HP, and they do resist fire. Both the Aqua Talon Thunder Punch will also be super effective. We're going to see Buthesfunnytho invest the Protect Shield, blocking up the Thunder Punch, and he is going to be looking to YOLO that Brave Bird. The question is, does the opponent respect the damage? They do not, and there's the first big boom. The opponent then sends out Greninja. We see the pivot into Sceptile, baiting out Primarina. The opponent running a backline, double weak to grass, and Sceptile is so incredibly spammy. The first Leaf Blade forces Primarina's first protection. The opponent looking for that full tap, charm down, farm down, but the super spammy Sceptile already the next Leaf Blade. The second Leaf Blade forces the final Protect Shield, but unfortunately Sceptile unable to reach the third Leaf Blade. Ho-Oh re-enters the arena, able to reach the Brave Bird. Ho-Oh claiming yet another victim. Get that silly Charmer off my screen. We then pivot out into Giratina. Giratina running Dragon Breath, going to be offering quite a lot of fast move pressure. You never want to shield the first move in case they get the boost. Buthesfunnytho recognise that, doesn't shield the first, but is going to invest the shield, shielding up the second Night Slash. Giratina already has that Dragon Claw locked and loaded. Not entirely sure why we didn't throw it, and this game's going to get somewhat dicey. Oh, Giratina just about withstands the Night Slash, reaches the Dragon Claw, and that should be all she wrote, with Buthesfunnytho off to a 1-0 start. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, the tough leads continue. Lapras, if they're on an Ice Beam, which most do run in the Ultra League, is somewhat of a core breaker. The Sparklet Aria going to be in Ho-Oh for super effective, and the backline is double weak to Ice. We see Buthesfunnytho invest an early Protect Shield, farm up to 100 energy before unleashing the Sacred Fire. Sacred Fire force out a Protect Shield back, then we see a very nice Sparklet Aria catching onto Giratina. The catch was very nice, but the counter swap is not. We are immediately hard checked by Clefable. Buthesfunnytho looks to fire off the ancient power, but Clefable looks to deny the energy, firing off the Moonblast, and our Giratina straight in and straight out. This does now present a nice opportunity for Ho-Oh to come in and look to load up on energy. But as I said in the intro, who even knows what Buthesfunnytho's thinking, as we choose to send out Sceptile. Sceptile going to fire off the Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade force the final Protect Shield. Sceptile insanely glassy and going to respect potential Moonblast. The opponent doesn't fuck around, full send the Moonblast. Sceptile farms up. This time we go for a catch, and we're able to catch what should be a Moonblast onto Ho-Oh. That Moonblast was supposed to be resisted, but someone forgot to tell Ho-Oh. The opponent then sends out Samurott. Ho-Oh gonna unleash the Brave Bird on the unshielded Samurott. Brave Bird rocks the opponent into the red health range. The opponent continued to farm up, enabling Ho-Oh to reach the next Brave Bird, and Samurott's going to be removed from the field of play. Lapras should now come in and get the farm down, but the opponent actually makes a mistake here, sending out Clefable. If I was them, I would have just sent out Lapras, Psywave farm down, but it is what it is. We fire off the first Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade knocks out Clefable, back out comes Lapras. Sceptile races the next Leaf Blade and going to sweep the back line. GG's to that opponent. Heading into the next battle, we lead Shadow Ho-Oh into Bellibolt. Without a doubt, this season's most annoying Ultra League Pokemon. It's probably even more annoying than Zygarde nowadays. We say no thank you, say switch into Sceptile. This is a Thundershock variant. They farm up a boatload of energy. Zap Cannon would be resisted, but Shadow Sceptile insanely glassy, so I don't dislike that Protect Shield usage. Sceptile gonna return fire with the Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade forced the Protect Shield back, and the opponent then pivots out into Toad Scroll. The opponent clearly core broken by Sceptile, as this is by no means a good matchup for them. Their Mud Slap's hitting for resisted, whereas our Fury Cutters are super effective and these Leaf Blades hit for a lot of neutral damage. We actually go for the break-in swipe bait. The opponent has no interest in shielding up Toad Scrawl, so we then save Sceptile and make the pivot back into Ho-Oh. The Firebird of Death able to get the Incinerate snipe, leaving with a boatload of energy, but unfortunately Belly Bolt so incredibly spammy on Thundershock, able to outpace to the Parabolic Charge. We see Buthesfunnytho invest the final Protect Shield, farm up, throw the Sacred Fire. Sacred Fire forces the opponent's final Protect Shield, and the opponent wisely dumps energy before they get Brave Birded to the face. Belly Bolt does leave a 2-stage boosted on defense, but they're fully walled by both our remaining Pokemon. We send out Sceptile. Sceptile tanks the Parabolic Charge, looks to overfarm as much as we physically can, getting very close to the double Leaf Blade. They're now triple boosted, but Sceptile hits like a truck. The low and Leaf Blade secures the knockout. The opponent sends out Piloswine. No, Buthesfunnytho, don't do it. I've been trying to make this thing work all season, and this is pretty much how all the battles have gone for me. I'm thinking Piloswine's going to be a huge core breaker, then some prick Leaf Blades me, hits me with a Frenzy Plant or some kind of fire move, and I always make a very brief cameo appearance. As always, I've gone off on a mad tangent and managed to miss the start of this next battle, but we led Ho-Oh into the basic bitch tin can. Dr. Beep Beep, the opponent fired off the Zap Cannon, makes the pivot into Ampharos. Ampharos gets absolutely clapped with a Sacred Fire. Ampharos showed no respect, left deep into the red health range, then we send out Sceptile. Sceptile looking to absorb the energy before committing to the full Fury Cutter farm down. The opponent sends out Talonflame, and potentially we're going to get to see Ho-Oh versus Talonflame, the two Firebirds of Death facing off against one another. Sceptile fired off the first break-in swipe, but did some alright damage. The second one won't be lethal, but does force a protection. The opponent looks to maintain health. Come on, send out our Firebird of Death. Let's go. Ho-Oh does re-enter the arena. We bank the Brave Bird and look to make the catch back onto Giratina, essentially using it as the damage sponge. We absorb the fly. The opponent sends back out Registeel. We've already seen Zap Cannon. Some do run Zap Cannon and Flash Cannon now. Hopefully it's the Focus Blast variant. Of course it's bloody Flash Cannon. Despite Giratina being fully walled, at least on paper, these Dragon Breaths are really chunking and the Dragon Claw leaves them into the red health range. Giratina looks for the farm down, unfortunately unable to get it. Buthesfunnytho invests the final protection, blocking up the Flash Cannon. Quick switch into Ho-Oh and able to incinerate Snipe. Just Talonflame remains and the opponent can pick their poison. Brave Bird forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. Oh baby, and this now opens up the door for Giratina to knock this Firebird of Death from the sky. We've got that rock type coverage locked and loaded, and it's time to hit with that bang. There it is. Shout out the Go Oxford U, and we take that game. In the next battle, we see a battle of legendary Pokemon, Ho-Oh into Cresselia. We do have to be wary that potentially they've got Future Sight, although the opponent throws on 7. It's 8 to a Future Sight, so at worst, this is going to be a Moonblast. Despite Moonblast being resisted, you can see Shadow Ho-Oh really isn't all that bulky, even in the Ultra League. We farm up to 100 energy, fire off the Sacred Fire, then make the pivot into Sceptile. Sceptile going to invest the Protect Shield, looking to maintain health. We block up the Moonblast. The opponent then pivots out into Giratina, and this is where the Break and Swipe coverage is going to be very, very nice. Not only is Break and Swipe super effective, it also has a coin flip chance of getting the attack drop. Next season it's going back to 100% chance of an attack drop. Whilst it is going to be more expensive, I do worry Pokemon like Steelix are again going to be far too bloody annoying to deal with. I think out of all the Ultra League metas we've had, the Steelix Virizion days were by far the worst. Well, it did mean that Slurpuff was a monstrous core breaker. If you know, you know. So if that core pops up again, trust me, Slurpuff is the source you're looking for. As I'm yapping away, look at the amount of work Sceptile's put in. We landed yet another breaking swipe. We were then able to snipe with Giratina, and out comes a Force Palm Lucario. Again, we're fully walled here, but Lucario is insanely glassy. Have they got Shadow Ball? I'm guessing it's probably Shadow Ball and Thunder Punch in the Ultra League, and they are going to have to force in the Shadow Ball to do any meaningful damage on my days. Why would you pop bait a Ghost type that is double resisted trainer and simply isn't going to help your cause? The opponent then recognises they need to force in the Shadow Ball. They do exactly that, removing us from the field of play, but that just sets up a massive farm down for our Ho-Oh. Just Cresselia remains. Ho-Oh unleashes the Brave Bird. Brave Bird forces the final Protect Shield. We could shield, we could let it go. This game's just over. The opponent go for the grass, not bait. We pivot into Sceptile, we're able to snipe with some Fury Cutters and take that game. As I said in the intro, I didn't put this video together. I've just shoutcast. Buthesfunnytho has done all the legwork. Looks like we've got a change of team. We've got Mewtwo, Ho-Oh and Rhyperior. What the heck do you do against Feraligatr? We see Feraligatr in the first battle, so I guess we're about to find out. Oh my god, we're so weak to this bloody thing. With shields in play, this isn't the worst for Rhyperior. It's essentially a Marowak versus Feraligatr in the Great League, where you can choose your way through it in the 2-shield. We farm up to the double break-in swipe, forcing both Protect Shields here in the mid-game matchup. The second one was a charge attack priority, so Buthesfunnytho happy to take his shield advantage. And I guess send back out Mewtwo, but we're not going to appreciate this Shadow Claw damage. Mewtwo re-enters the arena, over farms, trapping the opponent into the charge attack priority. A side strike, massive overkill, removing Feraligatr from the field of play. Back out comes Skeledirge, we farm up and look to catch the Torch Song onto Ho-Oh. At least I imagine it's a Torch Song. Who the heck is going to full send a Shadow Ball against the glassy Shadow Mewtwo? Clearly not this opponent. Looks like the opponent looks to force our final Protect Shield, threatening a boosted Shadow Ball. The opponent then full sends a Shadow Ball, which we shielded. Ho-Oh farms up to 100 energy before unleashing the Brave Bird and looking to remove Skeledirge from the field of play. Brave Bird does exactly that. Out comes Venusaur. Oh no, say it ain't so, trainer. Venusaur straight in and straight out. Sacred Fire probably cooks this Venusaur and every Venusaur's ever entered the Go Battle League, and we take that game. Heading into the next battle, we see Mewtwo into Talonflame, aka the Kentucky Fried Chicken Bird of Death. The opponent pivots into Guzzlord. Quite surprised he has not sent out Rhyperior, instead opting to send out Ho-Oh. I guess the thought process from Buthesfunnytho is that he'd like to align Rhyperior with that Talonflame somewhere down the line. Ho-Oh unleashes the Brave Bird, monstrous damage, potentially enabling us to incinerate farm down. We could actually take switch here if we're willing to shield, but it looks like Buthesfunnytho just going to sack Ho-Oh and send back up Mewtwo. Mewtwo gets a massive double resisted Psycho Cut farm down. Back out comes Talonflame. We are going to unleash the Side Strike. We could have threw one further Psycho Cut. For optimal fast move time, we were able to force a Protect Shield regardless. Out comes Swampert, another thing that should be advantageous into Rhyperior, but not behind on energy or at a shield disadvantage. We was able to get the coin flip attack drop. Not that's going to help us survive a double super effective Hydro Cannon, but does at least lower the damage output from the super effective Mud Shots. Rhyperior unleashes the next break-in swipe, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. The opponent then throws at really poor timing, and I think that is the final nail in this opponent's coffin. We shield the Hydro Cannon, Rhyperior fully Mud Slap farms down. The opponent is going to have to full send a Brave Bird. I'm not even sure Brave Bird will knock us out. Probably would have, as that fly did quite a lot, but Rhyperior withstands the fly, reaches the Rock Wrecker, massive overkill, and Rhyperior able to sweep the back line. In the next battle, we see a blast from the past as we see Mewtwo into a Alolan Muk. We pivot into Rhyperior, baiting out Gastrodon. Not fantastic by any means, but Rhyperior gonna strike first with the break-in swipe, once again getting that coin flip attack drop. What the heck is going on here? Has Scopely flipped the switch a little early or something? Rhyperior is getting all these attack drops. The opponent then bait with a Body Slam, which I wouldn't recommend as Rock does resist normal and Rhyperior actually able to force a Protect Shield here in the mid-game matchup. Buthesfunnytho sends out Ho-Oh, and Ho-Oh looks to get ahead in energy. The opponent gonna full send an Earth Power. Despite being single resisted, does actually do more than the Body Slam, because Body Slam is a crap move, although next season it is getting buffed again. Out comes Clefable. Clefable going to be greeted with the Sacred Fire. Sacred Fire forces the final Protect Shield. Buthesfunnytho able to reach the Brave Bird. Trainer, what are you doing? Why did the opponent not throw? Clefable gets absolutely rocked. And it's all down to Alolan Muk to clean up. Mewtwo invests the Protect Shield. Oh, how rude. Getting baited with the Acid Spray. These Side Strikes are single resisted, as Dark double resist Psychic and Poison takes super effective, but Mewtwo hits so incredibly hard it looks like 2 resisted Side Strikes are going to be enough to take that game. Heading into the next battle, we see Mewtwo into Swampert. Nice to catch it in the lead position, as the back line are double weak to water. Mewtwo going to strike first, throwing the Side Strike. Side Strike such a busted move and instantly forces the first protection of the game. I'm anticipating us matching Protect Shields, but Buthesfunnytho does some crazy stuff. So I say that with a hint of caution. The opponent then pivots into Sizzle. Uh-oh. This Sizzle is about to get cooked to a crisp. Ho-Oh hits the field of play. Get a fully Incinerate farm this thing down in only 3 quick moves. Ho-Oh exits with the Brave Bird that we could chuck at the incoming Swampert. Swampert has a move bank. They throw instantly and give Ho-Oh yet further energy. Buthesfunnytho invests the Protect Shield, farms up to 100 energy before unleashing the Brave Bird. Brave Bird gets no respect. Down goes Swampert. Out comes Giratina. Ho-Oh still not done. Gonna unleash yet another Brave Bird. Brave Bird again gets no respect. We pivot back into Mewtwo, and Mewtwo is gonna release the Side Strike. Holy crap, man. This team has got nukes popping off all over the shop. The opponent unable to Shadow Claw farm us down. We reach yet another Side Strike. Down goes Giratina, and we take that game. Rhyperior doing the heavy lifting in the battle before, and in the previous battle gets a well-deserved rest on the bench. In the next battle, oh boy. We attempted a catch on the Rhyperior, catch attempt unsuccessful, and now forced to respect. No, I was going to say a Trailblaze. Holy crap, the opponent full center focus blast. Then pivot into Primate. Primate greeted with the Breaking Swipe. Breaking Swipe forces the first Protect Shield. The opponent doesn't full center close combat here and settle for a Rage Fist. We will very easily survive. The opponent recognises that, full center close combat, picking up the one-hit KO. Shout out to this opponent, also YOLOing nukes left, right and centre. Mewtwo re-enters the arena, fires off the Side Strike, removing them from the field of play. Oh man, Galarian Moltres is not what Mewtwo wants to see. We pivot into Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh, oh my god, shields up the Brave Bird. This opponent just YOLO with them nukes. How do we win this game? I don't even know if we do win this game. Hopefully the opponent doesn't respect our Brave Bird. Brave Bird! Oh, it does go shielded. Do 2 double resisted Side Strikes knockout? Probably not right. Oh, it's going to be close, but unfortunately we're unable to reach the next Side Strike. The opponent Sucker Punch farm us down, but no hard feelings. They were YOLO with them nukes. GG's to both trainers. And that is just about going to wrap things up for today's Shoutcast. As always, Buthesfunnytho is such a fun battler to Shoutcast. And after the tough couple of days I've had with a few issues in my personal life, that very much put a smile back on my face. So, buddy, I appreciate you. If you're enjoying the content, smash that like button if you're new. Consider subscribing if you'd like your battles featured on my channel. A link to our battle submission form is linked down below. And as always, a huge thanks for watching. And I'll see you all in the next one.